Some people think that if you're working in a small space, you have to keep everything as light and bland and neutral as possible to try and make the space appear bigger. Design experts actually say the opposite, that if you use dark colours and patterns and textures, it'll draw your eye into the space. The owner of the next van, Rory, has definitely gone for this principle. This is one of the brightest, most colourful, tiny vans I've seen, and I can't wait to show it to you.
Welcome to Quirky Campers, the home of handmade camper vans.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
And very nice to see the incredible
Thanks.
Rory
Yeah,
in
you
flesh.
spotted it.
Yes,
quite
it wasn't
bright.
hard to see him from a distance.
Yeah. He gets a lot of comments everywhere I go. So.
Yeah, you must do.
Yeah.
Do you get
it's
people
very
waving
bright.
at you on the motorway as well?
Oh yeah. I got stuck in traffic on the way here, and it was every single car that is next to me is just asking, like, out their window and stuff, and pointing at me and stuff. But, yeah. I quite like it. I like a bit of weird, so that's good.
And why did you want to do a camper van in the first place?
I do a lot of hobbies that involve going to quite remote places. So I go to Scotland a lot. I do a lot of hiking and climbing and stuff, and it's not always possible to get a hotel. Well, it'd be expensive as well.
Yeah.
And it's a bit hard to set up camp if you arrive somewhere late and you've got to set your tent up and everything. So I thought I'd do a camper van instead.
Do you think that because of the really bright exterior that you attract a certain type of customer?
Yes. Yeah, everyone I've met has been really nice.
Yeah.
All very hippie-ish people, which is good because I go to a lot of music festivals and stuff, so I'm quite used to like hippies at Glastonbury and Secret Garden Party and stuff like that.
What was the concept behind this beautiful paint job? Like, how
So,
did you come up with the design?
I didn't actually come up with the design. All I knew I wanted it to be psychedelic, brightly coloured, and just eye-catching. So I sent the design to this guy down in Hastings called Luke.
Yeah.
He specialises in like custom paintwork on vehicles and all that sort of thing. And I don't know, I think there's a bit of Pink Floyd in there. There's a bit of Tron.
Yeah.
He sent me like a couple of designs, and this was my favourite one. But he did say he sort of makes it up as he goes along. That's when he does his best work. So I trusted him to do it, and
nice.
he did a really good job. You know, with a lot of vans, you see the inside or the outside or whatever, and you're like, oh, I wish I had that. That's better than mine. I wish I saw that. I haven't seen a paint job I've liked more than mine, which is always good. So that's a good sign that I like it.
Good sign. And then in terms of the interior, did you do it yourself?
Yeah, everything inside I did completely myself. My drawing and artwork isn't the best, that's why I didn't do the paintwork myself, but everything inside. When I started, I didn't even really know how to use a drill. I was quite, but I'd try everything and give it a good go. And these days, most stuff you can learn on YouTube.
Yeah.
I actually found it quite enjoyable just learning all these new skills. You have to learn carpentry, electrical work, plumbing, a bit of everything. So I really enjoyed the learning part of it as well. Every side is completely different. So my favourite side is this side. I quite like the back as well.
Yeah, do you know what, the back's my favourite.
Yeah, especially I had obviously the window put in at the back. But yeah, I think it looks really good with the half black and half multicoloured. I think that looks good. This side's pretty much the same as the other side, just not quite as colourful. Then the front is quite hippie-ish. The guy who did it, Luke, I think it was his favourite part of the van.
It looks like it's got a bit of a crop circle inspiration.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
So can you show us the inside?
I can. That's what a lot of people say when they see it. They're always really impressed that I've managed to squeeze sort of a hob sink. I've got the cool box in there, and all this is storage as well, so it's quite good. This is is it SMEV, I think? It's a hob sink unit. These glass panels, this broke when a customer was renting it. I don't know whether it was, well, they said, I've heard stories as well, that the heat just shining on it can break them. So I actually wasn't too bothered because you can't rest hot pans on this glass. So I put in a wooden one, and now I can use that as like a chopping board or somewhere to put hot saucepans and stuff. But I've got a 2-burner hob, and you've got your sink over there as well. Little Quirky Campers soap there. In here, you've got your cool box. So I actually don't use a fridge or anything like that that's powered by the mains, just because I don't have solar panels on the roof and my battery is reasonably small. So if I go somewhere for longer than a couple of days, that will run the battery flat if I'm not moving. So it's actually quite good because all I have to do is just, I have 2 big ice packs in there, and then I can chuck, if I run out, if they get cold, warm even, I chuck a big bag of ice cubes in there, and that lasts for another sort of 3 days. So it quite easily does a whole week with that. Then you've got your wastewater and your freshwater tanks. And then over here, you've got your gas locker. And in there you've got the gas that powers the hob, and also the heater, which comes out there. I actually stayed up in Scotland last year without a heater. It was okay. I've stayed up there as well since I've got the heater.
Yeah.
And it's so much better. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. This, I'm guessing, is like a regular rock and roll.
It is,
type bed?
yeah. If you try and buy them brand new, you can spend up to £1,000 on them. So every single day on eBay, I'd be checking, trying to get a used one. And I managed to get this for 150 quid.
Oh, amazing.
Which is a bargain, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some people make their own out of wood and stuff, but I thought I'd just buy one. Under here as well, whenever I get somewhere, I put this panel sort of down the side, just gets it out of the way. But under here,
Lovely bit of storage.
yeah. So it's really sort of everything you need.
Yeah.
So you've got your tea and coffee and sugar and everything, all your saucepans, plates, knives, hot water bottle. I think some hippies have left some incense in here, leaking. Got candles, torches, cutlery. Underneath here, we've got 2 seat belts. So it is 4 belted seats.
Yeah.
A lot of people have asked that, not for kids, just so they can strap their dogs in. I like these little holes. There's those tiny little details that I really like. 2 shelves, so you can't get to the one under here unless you go to the back, but this one's quite good. And this is also where the fairy light switches as well, like in the back corner. Ceiling is probably the thing I'm most proud of, I think, because when I first converted the van, there weren't many people that had a ceiling like this.
Yeah.
I think I'd seen one other van with one similar. But yeah, a lot of people ask me how I did it. So it's just the plywood lining.
Yeah.
And then PVA glue I used.
Okay.
And then this is just a big, I think they're called Indian tapestries or mandalas or whatever. You buy them quite cheaply off eBay, which is also the same material that I've used for the curtains as well. Yeah, all the curtains are all just different mandalas that have been cut up. I did a little bit of sewing, and then I had to employ my mum to help me with the curtains.
You're not the first person who said that.
No. That is probably my favourite part in the van. I think it reminds me of like a witch's potion shelf or something like that. But yeah, got all your different spices there, and also the wood, like the bamboo and the 2 end bits of wood. I got from, there's a secret little lake, like park near where my parents live, and not many people know about it, but they've got exotic plants like bamboo down there. It's all overgrown, so I took a bit of bamboo and used the 2 end bits of wood from there as well. So I made it, it's got a bit of home in it as well.
There's something so homely about having a spice rack, you know, it's like,
Yeah,
you're not camping, you're in a camper van,
Exactly,
and these are the luxuries that you can have.
it's those little touches.
Yeah. Exactly. These lights are gorgeous too.
Yeah, they're not the brightest, but I really like even when they're off, I quite like the look of them all the way around. Just got your lights, main on and off lights. This is another thing, it's stupid, but I didn't know that when I first started, a tap needed electricity. I just didn't, it wasn't something I thought of. But yeah, so that's to power the pump. You can hear it turn the tap on and off. This middle one does nothing. Still thinking of putting something in there. I don't know what to put there. This one is actually the heater. So the heater uses electricity as well. I haven't got a little sticker for it yet. And then you've just got the USB sockets there, which is just there. And then you've got your voltage as well. I think a lot of these control panels, they're made so they're already on, like the whole time. But obviously at night, that light's really bright, and like those are quite bright, and they drain the battery a little bit. So I wired them to this switch here, so you can turn it off at night. So I think in the future, if I did another van, the bed I would get would have a flat back all the way up, and I'd get a tiny bit more room on the inside, like only that much, but every little helps. But this is actually quite a good, when the door's closed, there's like a slot here. So I store like my pillows and stuff.
And that's how you get to the bottom shelf.
Yeah. So always bring a spare bottle of gas. It's hard to tell whether I'm going to run out of gas or not. So I always just chuck one in there anyway. And then also, if there's anywhere that I can't find ice, I use instant ice packs, but I don't like using them very much just because it's a little bit wasteful. When you're like off grid and there's not any shops around or anything, so it's quite a good little way.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Then under here as well, you've got sort of, so that's your mattress topper. And that's my duvet. But that's where I try and keep all my bedding under there, so keep it out of the way. And these panels are just held on with these little magnets as well, which is another thing you have to learn, because I didn't know what strength magnets I needed or anything like that. When I first converted the van, I didn't have two vehicles. This was my only vehicle, so I needed one that will fit under height barriers in car parks, fit in car parking spaces, and just do everything that a car can do, really. As I was going along, I didn't want to have to change things in the future, so I tried to think about everything as much as possible so that it was right first time. And I got it just how I like it. It's definitely not to everyone's taste, but I really like everything in here, so I'm happy with it.
Well, that's it. And if you try and design something for everyone, it ends up appealing to no one.
Exactly,
whereas I'm sure that the people who go for this are totally fall in love with it.
Yeah.
You could hire this van for your very own adventure. Click the link to find out more. Looking to build your own camper van? You should check out our brand new ebook, Building a Camper Van. As well as technical advice on things like carpentry, gas and electrics, it also includes dozens of layout ideas and advice on things like choosing your base vehicle or what to do if you'd like to rent your camper van out. Click the link to find out more.